Education is the foundation. Scientific education is the key to progress. Future progress cannot happen unless scientific education prospers in our country. Hello and welcome to a special broadcast, a special session, a RAID webinar. We're going to RAID concepts today. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Please confirm in chat if you can hear me and see me clearly. Good evening. Good evening, Mahima. So good to see you again. Sonali, Swarna, Shobita, and all of you, Rajat. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to this special broadcast where we are going to RAID concepts for CSIR NET. Yes, you heard me right. We start with this beautiful line, education is the foundation. How many of you agree with me? Is education the foundation of our life? Let me know in the comment section. Yes, it is, of course. अब देखिए, आज से कुछ 10 साल पहले, I asked my father that if you had invested in land, I would have become a crorepati overnight. You know what he replied to me? He said that I invested in something bigger than land. I asked, what? He said, your brain. He said, if I had bought land, you would have sold it to become a crorepati. But I invested in your brain, your education, which you cannot sell. But definitely it will help you till the day you are in this world. That's the kind of importance he gives to education. And I am sure all your parents, right, give to education. Am I right? Let me know in the comment section. Is that right? That's what happens to crypto. Right? Crypto का वैल्यू खत्म हो जाएगा, बट एजुकेशन का वैल्यू कभी खत्म नहीं होगा. अब आ जाओ साइंटिफिक एजुकेशन. साइंटिफिक एजुकेशन की वैल्यू इतनी ज्यादा है कि 100 साल पहले, 120 साल पहले, इफ राइट ब्रदर्स हैड नॉट इनोवेटेड, तो आज बोइंग नहीं होता और आप हवा में उड़ नहीं पाते. करेक्ट? साइंटिफिक एजुकेशन कितनी इंपॉर्टेंट है, यू कैन सी दैट. अगर साइंटिफिक इनोवेशन नहीं होता, साइंटिफिक एजुकेशन नहीं होता, तो पूरी दुनिया कोविड से मर रही होती आज भी. बट द सिचुएशन इज अंडर कंट्रोल. हाँ, 2 साल लगे, बट हमने कंट्रोल में किया. इट्स ऑल बिकॉज ऑफ साइंटिफिक एजुकेशन, राइट? अब देखो, विल गो अ लिटिल बैक टू द वैदिक कल्चर. वैदिक कल्चर में एक बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग और इंपॉर्टेंट श्लोक है. पुस्तक स्थातु या विद्या परहस्त गतम धनम कार्यकाले समुत्पन्ने नासा विद्या नातद्धनम. Now you look at this. If you think that the knowledge which resides in the book is the knowledge which you have, no, that's not right. Whatever is in your brain, that's the knowledge which you possess. It's similar to money. Okay, it's similar to money. If the money is in somebody else's hand, it's not your money. When the time will come, you cannot utilize that knowledge and that money. So basically, the knowledge in the books is not your knowledge. The knowledge in the books is not your knowledge. Now let us combine. Scientific knowledge is the key, but it today exists only in the books. the way we are being taught in our education system, see, I'm a rebel of this education system. That's how we started Biotechnica. I want to tell you this, our education system has flaws, big flaws, बहुत सारी flaws है, but किसी को आगे आना पड़ेगा उस flaw को fix करने के लिए. अब देखिए क्या हो रहा है आज के डेट में. This is something which I would like to bring in from the Western world. Vedic culture में आपने देखा in the previous slide, yes, it gives so much of importance to knowledge. Now let's come to the Western world where it says the first step in teaching students to innovate is making sure that the educators have opportunities to be innovators themselves. ये एक famous book है, उसकी writer है Suzy Boss, Bringing Innovation to School. इन्होंने ये बुक लिखा है और उस बुक में इन्होंने ये लिखा है कि द फर्स्ट स्टेप इन टीचिंग स्टूडेंट्स साइंस इज टू इनोवेट. द टीचर्स मस्ट बिकम इनोवेटर्स. आजकल के इनोवेटर्स जो हैं वही फ्यूचर के इनोवेटर्स क्रिएट कर सकते हैं. आजकल के इनोवेटर्स कौन है? हमारे टीचर्स. बट अगर वही इनोवेट करना बंद कर दे तो वी वोंट बी एबल टू innovate in the future, right? Manoj, you don't know Hindi. I'll try to be in English, but you know, Manoj, bhav mein nikal jata hai Hindi. It just comes out somehow, but yes, I'll try to stick to English so that all of you can understand. So this is a famous quotation from Western world, right? Now let us come to RAID concept classes. We have based our CSIR NET coaching in all the classes which we are going to take and we are taking right now on the basis of this patent pending process. Now, what is this patent pending process exactly? So, usko batane ke liye, I'll have to take you a step back and show what is happening in colleges. Now, colleges mein kya ho raha hai? Chalk and talk method ho raha hai, right? This is the chalk and talk method happening. Am I right? Most of the places, we're seeing the chalk and talk method. The teacher will come, chalk uthayenge, they'll start teaching the way I am doing right now, correct? But what's happening? What is exactly happening here? Chalk and talk method mein flaws hai. Now, can someone tell me what are the flaws? What are the problems you faced while studying in college? When the lecturer used to come, he will start teaching without even bothering ki samne wale ko samajh mein aaya ki nahi. Now, tell me what exactly was the challenge you faced? Please mention in the chat box. Uske baad hi main aage badhunga. After that, I'll move forward. Right? Quickly. So what was the challenge you faced in the chalk and talk method? Please tell me. Right? Chalk and method happening in your college? Yes, it happens everywhere, right? That's a usual method. The problem with the chalk and talk method, what are the disadvantages? If the teacher is fast, chhoot jayega. You won't be able to understand the concept. If the teacher is not fast, but the first bencher is, a topper, teacher will start teaching the topper and forget the rest of the class. ये मेरे साथ बहुत हुआ है. मैं अपने क्लास का टॉपर नहीं था, but innovator था, right? What used to happen is if teacher starts teaching, he'll just focus on the first bencher and he'll forget the rest of the class. If someone is nodding the head, gone. That is what happened in the chalk and talk method. और इसी वजह से इंडिया में इतने सारे एंट्रेंस एग्जाम है, क्योंकि हमारी एजुकेशन सिस्टम फ्लॉड है. तो हमें पता नहीं है कि कौन सा स्टूडेंट इसमें से अच्छा है, सो वी हैड टू टेक सो मच ऑफ एंट्रेंस एग्जाम. करेक्ट? टीचर डजंट इनोवेट. यही हो रहा है चॉक एंड टॉक मेथड. ओके, लेट्स मूव ऑन. आजकल का नया मेथड यूट्यूब मेथड है, राइट? यूट्यूब मेथड, वंडरफुल मेथड, बहुत ही अच्छा मेथड है यूट्यूब मेथड. बट जो आज के जनरेशनल टीचर्स आ रहे हैं, देयर इज अ फ्लॉ. ओके, नाउ व्हाट इज हैपनिंग with this YouTube method? Let us look at this. Usual time pass. Okay. Now, aap socho, if I come with the intention to get views, not to teach, then obviously I'll just focus on views, not on the concept. Usual time pass. शुरुआत पोएट्री से करेंगे, एंड करेंगे कूपन कोड डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन से. बट इन डेप्थ कॉन्सेप्ट नहीं पढ़ाई होगी, because they're coming for views, they're not coming to teach you. Their salary is when they show you ads. Correct? Only feel good concepts. मैं ये नहीं कह रहा हूं कि सब लोग ऐसा कर रहे हैं, but most of them are doing this. In the YouTube era, what we are seeing is only feel good concept, जो आसान concept है या जो सुनने में अच्छा लगता है, so those concepts will be taught. Right? Now, most of them will end up misguiding. ये हो रहा है. most of them will end up misguiding you. इसीलिए मैंने एक नाम रखा है यहां पर फेक यूट्यूब गुरुस. फेक इसलिए बिकॉज विदाउट इवन एनालाइजिंग कि आपके हर वर्ड का व्हाट विल बी द इम्पैक्ट ऑन द स्टूडेंट, यू यूज एनी वर्ड, यू कम लाइव एंड टॉक एनीथिंग, द रिजल्ट विल बी द स्टूडेंट विल कीप थिंकिंग कि जो भी उसने यूट्यूब से पढ़ा है वो सफिशिएंट है एग्जाम के लिए. बट एट द एंड जब वो एक क्वेश्चन पेपर सॉल्व करेगा, he'll be like, मुझसे तो कुछ सॉल्व हो नहीं रहा है, right? And that is where YouTube method is causing more chaos than it was supposed to be. Actually, this was supposed to be one of the best methods. 21st century का सबसे बड़ा इनोवेशन है YouTube पर पढ़ाई, बट हमारे इंडिया में उसका मिसयूज होता है. So there is there. Okay. Now, चॉक एंड टॉक मेथड में हमने ये प्रॉब्लम्स देखी, यूट्यूब मेथड में हमने प्रॉब्लम्स देखी. तो एट बायोटेक्निकाज इंफॉर्मेशन लैब्स वी डिड सम इनोवेशन. अ नीड वाज फेल्ट टू हेल्प सीरियस स्टूडेंट्स क्वालिफाई एग्जाम्स. और इसका सैंपल मैं दूंगा, हर चीज का सैंपल मैं आज देने वाला हूं आपको. आई एम गोइंग टू गिव यू सैंपल्स, इवन यू विल बी एबल टू डाउनलोड दो सैंपल्स. ओके, सो डोंट वरी. सीरियस स्टूडेंट्स को हेल्प करने के लिए वी इनोवेटेड. वी डिसाइडेड दैट वी विल डिलीवर इन डेप्थ कॉन्सेप्ट so that you can retain longer. समझ में आएगा तभी ज्यादा देर तक रिटेन कर पाओगे. और एडवांस्ड कॉन्सेप्ट्स जो कि आप इंटरव्यू में, आईआईएससी के भी इंटरव्यू में बैठोगे, इफ यू सिट इन आईआईएससी इंटरव्यू आल्सो, स्टिल यू कैन क्वालिफाई दोज इंटरव्यूज. नाउ टू हेल्प यू रिकॉल फास्टर, टू हेल्प यू इंप्लीमेंट दोज कॉन्सेप्ट्स while solving part C questions, to uncomplicaate your preparation. अभी आपका प्रिपरेशन इस तरीके का हो जाता है. We uncomplicate by untangling it. This is the need which we felt, and then we innovated, or we did this. We did the innovation, we took the inspiration from your problems. Our experts added some creativity, we analyzed, we implemented technology, we did some development in the pandemic time. Pandemic में सब लोग घर पे थे, but हमारे टीचर्स घर से भी, हमारे जो प्रोफेसर्स हैं घर से भी, they were innovating, they were working on this amazing product. We developed this amazing product with the help of teamwork. और आज today we are launching this proudly. जब मैं आपको दिखाऊंगा, when you will see the sample, you will be like, wow, this has never happened, right? So we innovated, we made revision tools. Okay, revision tools आपने देखा ही होगा, we'll show you that as well. But we still felt कि students को better guidance चाहिए, better support, and no spoon feeding. The problem with all the teachers which we have in the country today is they end up doing spoon feeding, babysitting. But science is not a subject for babysitting. मैं आपको बैठ के माइकलस मेंटन इक्वेशन समझा सकता हूं, इंप्लीमेंट करना आपके ऊपर है. कैसे कर रहा है उसके लिए यू हैव टू प्रैक्टिस. सो दैट इज वेयर वी डिसाइड, ओके, विल गिव यू बेटर गाइडेंस बट नो स्पून फीडिंग. कैसे करेंगे? हाउ डू वी डू दैट? सैंपल आ रहा है आपके सामने बहुत ही जल्दी. सो वी डिसाइडेड दैट वी आर गोइंग टू डेवलप अ प्रोसेस एंड वी विल पेटेंट इट. आज तक किसी भी कोचिंग कंपनी ने ये नहीं किया होगा. अपने टीचिंग मेथोडोलॉजी को हम पेटेंट करा रहे हैं, राइट? इजंट दैट डिफरेंट एंड यूनिक? यस, क्योंकि हमने इनोवेट किया है. नाउ दैट इज कॉल्ड एज रैपिड एडवांस्ड इंटेलिजेंटली डिलीवर्ड कॉन्सेप्ट्स. बट ये है क्या? just telling you all this is not the truth, right? Now, you see, innovation नहीं होगा अगर साइंस में, तो बच्चे समझेंगे नहीं, इंप्लीमेंट नहीं कर पाएंगे. ठीक है, तो इंडिया का राइट ब्रदर्स कौन बनेगा? इंडिया का हरगोविंद खुराना कौन बनेगा? राइट? Who will be the rocket boys of India? It's gonna be you, right? आज से 50 years later CSIR आपकी एनिवर्सरी बना रहा होगा, 50th एनिवर्सरी, राइट? जैसे फाउंडिंग फादर्स ऑफ CSIR they celebrate, right? So that's what is our intention, and that is why we are going to come up with the RAID concepts. Now meet the first element of RAID. Trained and experienced teacher with the right skill set combined with intelligently designed PowerPoints. now आप सोचोगे ये तो नॉर्मल हो गया क्लास. नहीं, मैं सैंपल आपके सामने अभी पेश करने वाला हूं. इन द नेक्स्ट 30 seconds you're going to see the sample for yourself. एक 5 या 10 minutes का डेमो आपके सामने होगा, where our expert is going to deliver you a lecture on a very powerful topic, जो कि बहुत ही मुश्किल है समझना, but you will be able to understand it in a snap of a finger, right? So are you ready, guys? Are you ready to see the first element of RAID? There are going to be 5 elements of RAID, like I told you in my last video. Are you ready to see the first element of RAID? Please tell me in the comment section. Yes? Quickly, guys. Let's see. How many of you are excited? Are you ready to see the first element of RAID? Witness the first element of rapid, advanced, intelligently delivered concepts. Yes? Yes? Let's go for it. So I would like to invite Mrs. Urmimala to take up the stage and start RAID concept classes. 10 minutes. Over to you, Mrs. Urmimala. Thank you so much. I'll see you after that. Okay? Go for it.
Good evening, everybody. Am I audible to you? Please confirm in chat box if I'm audible to you. A very good evening to an exciting evening where you are going to learn a process that is going to change your life. Yes, by following this process, which sir is saying, you can actually prepare so well that nobody can stop you from clearing CSIR. So today I'll be giving you a sample of the 8 classes that we conduct at Biotechnica. The topic is from Unit 1, Thermodynamics. We all know that living organisms, even the normal activities, demand almost constant input of energy. Even at rest, the basal metabolic rest, still we will be using some amount of energy. That's why the concept of thermodynamics. Thermo in Greek means heat and dynamics means power. So what is thermodynamics? The study of energy and its effects on matter. Living systems, they possess many practical challenges to the thermodynamic analysis. How changes are happening because they function in such a complex way that there will be some practical challenges. But we need to have some laws, a generalized set of laws. Those are laws of thermodynamics. To understand this, there is a concept of system, a concept of surrounding, together which forms universe. What is system? A part of the universe that is of our interest, that we are studying. It can be a reaction, it can be a vessel, an organism, or a cell. So energy changes do happen there, right? Heat wise, temperature wise, work wise, some things will take place and those will involve energy. Everything else which is surrounding the system is the rest of the universe, and those are called as the surroundings. Now, if we talk about the system, I told you it can be reaction, vessel, or cell reaction, anything. It has a certain amount of energy, which is represented by the symbol U or capital E. These terms are important for you to remember. This energy can be of two types. It can be potential, it can be kinetic. Potential is a stored amount of energy, kinetic is the movement. Now, when we put some energy to this boiling kettle of water, so as you can see, there is some molecular motion. There is some circulation of temperature inside plus in the surroundings as well. So that's how we know that when system undergoes a change, some of its energy can be used to perform work. Now, what are the laws of thermodynamics which I told you? So there are 4 laws of thermodynamics. First law and second law, when it came, after that there was another law which was necessary to justify the first and second. That's why it was named as zeroth law. So it says that if bodies A and B are in thermal equilibrium, what is thermal equilibrium? To simplify, that they have same temperature. If they are in equilibrium and in turn they are in contact with another body C, then all the three will be in thermal equilibrium with each other. What is the first law? It says that simplification of the first law is energy of the universe remains constant. It does not increase or decrease. Yes, it can be converted from one form to the other. It can be changed, transferred from one body to another, but it doesn't undergo any change. It remains constant. So, whatever is the internal energy, the total energy of the system, it is equal to how much heat you add to the system minus how much work is done by the system. Because if you add heat, the energy changes. If you do work, the energy changes. What is the second law? Second law is talking about a term called as entropy, which is degree of randomness. If you want to understand randomness, think about that when lockdown was there. People were asked to be in order in their houses. That was not favorable. But people wanted to be more random, go out of their houses on their choice whenever they want. But that is what was more favorable. But staying in houses was not favorable. Similarly, if you see this inflated balloon, coming to this shape is very easy. So what will this process be? It will be favorable process. But inflating a balloon, it will not be favorable, because here the molecules, the inside air molecules over here, they get to go out and become more random. When they are trapped inside the balloon, their entropy is decreased, their randomness is decreased. So always remember, entropy of the universe tends to increase. Okay, so in all spontaneous means ones will happen which will happen by themselves. The entropy of the universe, it is always going to increase. I'll give you a very simple example. You being in student life, no matter how many times you arrange your room, that means how many times you decrease the entropy of your room, try to get it organized. But over time, what happens? Yeah, over time the entropy increases. Somehow the things go in random places in your room, isn't it? So remember like that. Okay. Third law. So gaseous molecules have more entropy, and crystal molecules or lattice molecules, the ones which are bonded and are fixed in fixed places, those have less entropy. So always remember, pure crystalline substance, if you have at absolute zero temperature, its entropy will be so less that it will be zero. That is the third law. However, of our interest is the first law and the second law, which explains to us internal energy, entropy, and then there are concepts of enthalpy and Gibbs free energy. So, what is the energy change of the system? As I mentioned, heat absorbed by the system from the surrounding and work done by the system on the surroundings. So what is the change? Actually, this particular symbol, it represents change. It's the Greek letter delta, which indicates a change, which is the final internal energy of the system, what it has acquired, minus the initial system, the initial energy of the system. And that will be equal to Q minus W. What is Q? The heat, and work is what is associated with organized motion. Heat, it is a reflection of random molecular motion. Now, measurement of randomness or disorder of the system, that is called as entropy. It is denoted by the letter S. So, if we consider the reactants converting to products, let's say, where reactants have more entropy and products have less entropy. So I told less entropy means it is organized, which is not favored. So this is not a favorable reaction. Now if you take delta S will be the final entropy, which is less, and minus the initial entropy, which is more. So if I consider S1 minus S2, so it will be S2 minus S1. So what happens if you subtract a bigger amount from a smaller amount? You get the answer in negative. So that means if our delta S is negative, our reaction is not favorable. So as you can see, if delta S is negative, the process is non-spontaneous. You have to remember these things. If delta S is positive, the process is spontaneous. Now we need to have some kind of measurement for that. So what is our entropy change? Delta S is equal to S2 minus S1 is equal to Q by T, where Q is the amount of heat absorbed isothermally or reversibly divided by the temperature. Now let's have a concept check based on that. What was asked in CSIR question once? DNA melting temperature was found to be 47 degree and enthalpy measured at Tm was 0.032 kilojoule. So what would be the entropy change? So just now I told you a formula, that is delta S is equal to Q by T. Here they have given you temperature already. Q is the heat content which is given by enthalpy, but the thing is you have to convert the Celsius to Kelvin. So what will be the entropy change? Yes, you have to rearrange the Van 't Hoff's plot or equation, where you get delta S is equal to delta H by Tm, and that is a conversion of the temperature to Kelvin is 320. 0.032 divided by 320, you get 1 into 10 to the power minus 4 kilojoule. So 1 is the right answer. Now there is a concept called as enthalpy, which is the heat content of reacting system. I already mentioned. It is basically reflecting the number and kinds of chemical bonds which are present in reactants and products. So in that process, you have two types of reactions. One is endothermic and exothermic. As the diagram is explaining in this rate concept of classes, they are very intelligently designed classes. So as you can see, it's an self-explanatory one, right? So heat is absorbed into the system, and that is called as endothermic, where the reacting systems taking up heat from the surroundings have positive value. Why positive? Because they are taking up the heat. While exothermic, it is giving off heat to the surrounding. So in that case, the system is more hotter than the surroundings. Heat content of product is less than that of reactants, and the change of enthalpy, that's why it is having a negative value. So that's all from my end. I hope you have enjoyed the demo class of rate. Thank you. Over to you, sir.
All right. So that was the first element of RAID. I'm sure you all enjoyed it, but here is something which I want to bring your attention to. This was just a very small demo where we wanted to show how exactly our teacher will teach using intelligently designed PowerPoints. Okay, this is a regular thing, probably for some people. But here is the catch. Our teachers don't come to show you ads before or during or after the class. They don't come for time pass or coupon code distribution. They mean serious, intense, in-depth concepts. You can be rest assured that you'll be focused completely into the concepts. You'll be completely immersed into the topic. And when you'll emerge out of the class, you'll be enriched with this intense and in-depth concept-driven classes. But there is more. We are a goal-oriented, target-driven, result-focused team. And that's what we do. We don't sell promo codes in our classes. We don't come on YouTube to show you ads. We come to mean serious studies. But okay, that's the first element. Let's go to the next element. Now, you just witnessed Mrs. Urmiwala. There are many more such teachers in our team who have designed all the other elements also along with her. So I'm going to show you the next element, which is the most important element of RAID. It took us 2 years, 2 years of pandemic. We set out to create something which is better than Leninger, much more powerful than Guyton, and exemplary in itself. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you concept notes, where 24 teachers of Biotechnica joined hands across India. You remember Biotechnica has 5 branches, right? So we all were in an online mode. So we came together and built one of the biggest enigma, the biggest contribution ever done in the history of Biotechnica. We all came together and we designed something which we are going to show you as a sample. And as one sample is going to be given to all of you if you attend this till the end, okay? So if you attend this session till the end, you're going to get a sample of concept notes PDF as well for you to keep so that you can see how it enriches you, right? So I would like to invite 2 of my colleagues, Mrs. Tithi, Dr. Tithi and Dr. Tanushree, and they will join me live and they'll show you a sample. And after that, I'll join you with the third element. Okay, guys? So over to you, Dr. Tithi and Dr. Tanushree.
Good evening, everybody. How are you all doing? Am I audible, everyone? Okay, so here I am to present to you one of the very important creation that we did, as sir was mentioning to you, that we did it in the lockdown period, and this is what we came up with. We named it Concept Notes. Okay, so what was the idea behind it was that we started talking about the books. Okay, so the standard books that we have, the informations, everything is there. Okay, all important information, but we have to understand that those books are not made for exams. Yes, our exam syllabus is definitely based on those books, but There are 13 chapters, so more than 30 books are there, which we have to study thoroughly if we have to clear our exam, entrance exam, right? Now, if you look at the standard book, what happens? All the concepts are there. They are somewhere there in the book, right? It's not like you just turn a page and you get everything. Okay, so it's all jumbled up. So as sir was showing you a diagram in his slides, that they were all jumbled threads, and then how we, with the help of RAID classes, are going to arrange it. That is what we did in this concept notes. We have arranged those concepts, okay, in a methodical order that will help you in learning the in-depth concept, retaining it, and recalling it faster. So here is our concept notes. So here I'm just showing you a sample of concept notes, and this concept note we are going to provide to you, and it is going to be all colored. Okay, previously whatever study materials we had, it was not colored, but this one are colored. Okay, so we had the idea that when we look into kids books, they are more attractive to us, they are more colorful, they are made colorful so that the kids can be more attracted to study them. Okay, the same thing, we all have kids in us, right? We all love colors. Who likes black and white books, right? So that's why we have come up with this, and we have used color. The book is going to be all colored. All the pictures, all the images, we are studying biology, we cannot do without images, right? Those images are going to be colored images, and the concepts, okay, they are all going to be mentioned here. So as you can see, yeah, so as we can see here, we go. Okay, so this is the first page. This is talking about thermodynamics of ATP hydrolysis. So you can see here, along with the standard information, the theory, we have also provided the mechanism. Okay, the mechanism of how the bonds are moving, how the electrons are moving, all the important things we have mentioned here in the book pages. Okay, and this is going to be colored. It is formed in the handwritten notes kind of thing. Okay, so that it is, you just feel like it is like something that you only have written. All right, so this is a glimpse of what we have made in the concept note. All right, and this concept note, we have followed the Cornell method of note making, where we have divided the pages into three parts, where this is the main heading, this one is the Q portion, okay, where, and this one is the body. All right, so the all the things, so what it is, phosphocreatinine, okay, what is phosphocreatinine, how it is produced, okay, why it is required by the body suddenly. So everything, every information you will get here. Okay, and this is how we have created the concept note for each and every topic of the CSIR syllabus. Now I would pass on the control to Tanushri ma'am for more information on the concept note, and she will show you some more samples of the concept notes. Thank you, everyone.
Good evening, everyone. So finally, the day has come that you all have been waiting for. It's time to know about Biotechnica's greatest innovation, that is Concept Notes. Concept Notes is an advanced study tool which is based on RAID technology that allow you to retain concept longer, quickly revise, and recall faster. So here on your screen, you can see some glimpse of the concept note. Dr. Tithi has also showed you some glimpse of few pages of the concept note, right? So here you can see this is the concept note from unit 1. Okay, that is molecules and their interaction relevant to biology. So here you can see the main topic is written, and then subtopics are there, and all the information which is related to that topic is mentioned here. It is organized in the form of notes. Isn't it interesting? Right? So question arises, why there is a need of a smart study tool like concept notes? We often come across queries from our dear students, from CSIR NET aspirants like you, that how they can prepare better for CSIR NET exam, how they can prepare or revise in less time. Because you know that when it comes to CSIR NET exam preparation, timing is very important, right? And students share their problems with us. They discuss that they find studying from reference books difficult. As Dr. Tithi has also told you, that the content given in the reference books are in detail, and reading all the information line by line is so time consuming, right? And often, I'm sure you all must have faced this problem, that you often get confused how much to study from these books, right? And also, I'm sure you all have struggled in finding the topics, all the topics that are included in your CSIR NET syllabus in one single book, right? So you have to search here and there in different books to look for different topics. So here at Biotechnica, we keep our students, CSIR NET aspirants' problems at priority. And therefore, we came up with this unique smart study tool that will help all the CSIR NET aspirants like you to study effectively for CSIR NET exam. So here you can see the glimpse of the concept note. Now let me tell you how this concept note can help you. So this concept note is prepared by our experts of Biotechnica, which cover all the topics of CSIR NET syllabus. Yes, you heard it right. All the topics of Unit 1 to 13 included in your syllabus, you will find all in the concept note. And you can easily see that they are in the form of notes, right? So you need not to devote time in preparing your own notes. Isn't it exciting? Isn't it time saving? And then all the points, you can see all the, like we have specifically highlighted the important points, right? Even the color diagrams are being included here. So obviously it will help you to understand better the concept, learn faster. Then all the topics are in sequence as well. Like you can see, I have started with the structure of atom, then molecule, then structure of molecule, then the concept related to biochemistry. So all the topics are in sequence. So this is important because it helps you to study in an organized way, right? So the dedication, a proper planning is very much required for CSIR NET exam. Then also, when you're preparing for CSIR NET exam, superficial study won't help. You need to focus on the basics, right? So even you can see here, we have included the basic terms as well. Like when you study about radioisotope and radioactivity, so you don't need to simply start with half-life and the numerical part. You should first understand what is a radiation, what is this term radioisotope, how is it different from isotope, right? So you can see here, all it is included. And even you can compare and learn. It's very interesting. You can compare and learn, right? So it will help you learn better. It will help you understand the concept better, right? Similarly, you can see here the concept note of radioactive decay, right? So chemical bond. So all the important points are highlighted, explained in the form of a like flowchart is also included, diagram is also included. If you're studying about, let's say, if you're studying about covalent bond, so what is covalent bond, types of covalent bond, strength of covalent bond, everything is included here. Isn't it amazing? What do you think? Yes? So put some fire in the chat box. If you want to see some more glimpse of concept note, put some fire on the chat box. So now I request sir to take over, and thank you everyone. Over to you, sir, now.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tithi and Dr. Tanushri. It was really insightful. So guys, you can see this was one of the biggest innovation we did during the pandemic. हमने अपनी टीम से कहा हम बैठेंगे नहीं. CSIR is postponed or getting postponed again and again. We used this golden time to not just create certification courses or internships for all of you or other stuff. We also had a dedicated team working on this. In fact, when we started out, the only mission I gave to this team of 24 is you have to create a book better than Leninger, which is called the Bible of Biochemistry. So when we started working out on this particular concept notes, we kept in mind that it must be scientifically designed, it must have a flow, and it must capture from basics to latest. It must be in a format which is student friendly, like you saw. So I would request to bring up the screen on, yeah. So now you can, as you can see here, I will just show you, it is right now being shown in my screen. Okay, I hope you can see it, right? Now, please look at this. Now, how did we do it? So, this is basically looking like you have written it with your pen, right? So whatever you're seeing here right now, as I scroll up and down, okay? So, it seems like a student has written it, okay? Now, all you have to do is whichever you like, you can highlight or you can, underline, whatever it is, right? Most of the points, whichever is there, we have already highlighted, okay? So for example, this one is already highlighted, or so basically when you start looking at it, you feel like you have made your own notes, okay? But truly speaking, this was designed by 24 experts, okay? 24 months, 24 experts, and 13 units, right? Just now, this was shown by our expert, right? Now, basically, why did we do it? Why did we do all this? Is because we know all the effort which goes in, okay? Which goes in. Can you please bring me back? Yeah. So we know all the effort which goes in designing your own notes. And, many students waste a lot of time goes in designing notes. और जब तक नोट्स रेडी होता है, CSIR नेट एग्जाम आके जा चुका होता है, एंड वी विल बी लाइक, अरे अभी तो नोट्स ही रेडी नहीं हुआ था, ले एग्जाम भी गया. सो बेसिकली व्हाट वी वांट इज, we want you to just have a look at the notes, take down, okay, keep it with you. Now what happens is when you start preparing, all you have to do is do the underline and add your own notes on the top of it. You don't really need to create your own notes, right? Now we also have taken utmost care so that while you are reading this, you don't even need to go back to standard books, but I will still say, please go back to standard books because that's from where all this originates, right? That's the Gangotri, I would say. But yes, this book has been specifically written, 13 units, 13 books. It's a big set, okay? And it will be exclusively available to all the students who are enrolling with us, okay? So this time-taking process of notes making, pen badal ke color pens you have to use, and then you have to, all that is done already in 2 years time by 24 experts. All you have to do is internalize it. So this is the second most important element of RAID. Now we come to the third most important element of RAID is test. पढ़ लिया, टेस्ट नहीं किया तो कोई फायदा नहीं, right? So this is where the third element comes in, and now I would like to request our next expert, okay? Dr. Nidhi will be there with us shortly, and she will explain you about the third element of RAID, and then you will know how important this is. Over to you, Dr. Nidhi.
Hello all. I'm Dr. Nidhi, and as part of the Biotechnica team, I would like to greet and welcome you to this electrifying RAID session. In this part of session, we'll be discussing over the element which is related to the process of reviewing the concept. But before that, I would like to ask, how was it to know about the concept notes? Yes. Can I get some quick responses in the chat section? All right. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, great to see you as well. I'm sure it was amazing, right? Note making, that remains an integral part of any exam preparation. And when this is about the CSIR, which requires covering a vast syllabus touching almost every domain of biology, aspirants often decide to get efficient and concise notes, obviously for easy remembrance and long retention. But then what about the time, effort, energy, efficiency, and knowledge? What to include and what to leave? What to emphasize and what to skip?
So we have come up with a solution. And believe us, we have really tried hard to simplify this process of note making by bringing it in the shape of the concept notes, which are almost similar to your own handmade notes, isn't it? And hence they would look quite familiar to you. And on the top of that, they have been made out with all expertise by the experienced faculties of Biotechnica, highlighting all the important aspects related to all 13 units of CSIR. Wow, what else one student can ask for, right? Now, once you are done with the topic, you have gone through the concepts and notes well. Another important aspect is, can you guess? What should be the next aspect? Is to practice, right? On whatever knowledge you have gained, because knowledge is of no value, right? Unless you put it into practice. Beautifully quoted by Russian playwright and short story writer Anton Chekhov, who is considered to be one of the greatest writers in the world. He believed that knowledge can get diminished without application in the real world. And in our context, what is the application? Yes, application refers to the action of solving maximum questions, yes, to succeed in the exam. So, how do you do it? Can you please share your ideas on this? What could be the best way to put your knowledge into practice? Yes, can I get some quick responses in the chat section? Yes. How would you put your knowledge into practice? I know most of you will think of practicing questions, right? But as per human nature, we'll do it one day, we'll skip it the next day, we'll again do it next to next day, and then may again miss it later. Am I right? Because procrastination, putting off the things, delaying the things, is nearly a universal human trait. Do you agree to that? Yes? आज कर लेंगे, कल कर लेंगे, बाद में कर लेंगे. That happens to you as well? Am I right? We often procrastinate on tasks when we find them difficult, unpleasant, or just plain boring or stressful. So you can make it interesting by putting your knowledge under a series of tests and quests. Yes? Okay. So you should put your knowledge under a series of tests or quests, and you must put yourself on multiple self-assessment test scrutiny to evaluate the level of your concept understanding. Then the extent of retention, because that is also important, right? How much you are able to retain from the concept learned. And finally, the velocity of recall, right, while taking the exam. So here in Biotechnica, you may do it regularly, right? This is very important that we should make this process regular. Whatever topics or concepts they are covered during the sessions held in a week, they are put in the form of the weekly test. So time to put yourself under self-evaluation, guys. Under this element of RAID, you will be provided with the test links, which are updated every week on your portal, like on the first day of the week. So next, put your name, first and the second name, and then using your registered ID, you may log in and start with the test. The weekly test, it comprises of 40 questions based on part A, part B, and part C question types. Also in the title, you will be able to know the units covered. So as you will proceed, you can answer the question one by one, and once you complete it, there you will get the test score there only, right? Conveying information on the number of the incorrect answers, unanswered questions, if any, and obviously your score against the passing scores, right? You will also get an idea over the time, how much time you have taken to complete the test. Not to be forgotten, negative marking will be there following the CSIR scheme. Now, this is only for demo purpose, guys, but the time taken will actually depend on how deeply you have been able to grasp the concepts during the week sessions. Now, we can also keep an eye on your performance. Yes, as we may look into the complete report of all those who have taken up the test. So we are not leaving you alone even during this self-evaluation exercise. Okay, so together we can make the scores better. आप और हम मिलकर scores को बेहतर बना सकते हैं. Similarly, monthly quests, they will be conducted in the first week of every month. But there you will get the entire syllabus covered during a month. And the number of the questions will be 75. The pattern will be exactly the same as CSIR exam along with the negative marking. But what if you don't get the passing scores? So unlike others, we are not going to judge you or tag some titles of toppers, most intelligent, less intelligent, weak student. No. Prepare the topic again. This time definitely it will take less time to prepare because you already know what all kind of things they are asked in the test from a particular topic, and then retake the test honestly. Score good and be a winner. In the sense, win confidence. Yes, your success will be determined by your own confidence and fortitude. Remember, you cannot undo the moves, but you can always make the next step better. So, more and more you practice and take the test and the quest regularly, gradually your confidence will take a boost. And that's what we need and want, right? Agreed? Yes? Can I get some yes in the chat section? Also, you will get better in the question solving skills along with time management, because that is again very important from examination point of view. So that is the idea behind putting yourself on self evaluation by taking test and quest. So I'll take a pause here and I'm passing the controls to Sir again. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Nidhi, and a wonderful audience out there. Thank you so much, guys. We're getting a lot of comments where they say, you should be bilingual. The coaching should be bilingual. That way, Biotechnica can grow bigger. But our interest is not to grow ourselves. Our interest is to grow you. And just think about it. Do you think TIFR or NCBS or IISc will ask you interview questions in Hindi? No, they won't. Do you think when you go and apply abroad for a PhD or a postdoc, they will ask you questions in Hindi? No. Concept आपको समझ में तो आ जाएगा हिंदी में, but explain नहीं कर पाओगे क्योंकि आप सुनना नहीं चाहते हो. हिंदी आपका कंफर्ट जोन जरूर है, मेरा भी है. मेरा कंफर्ट जोन तो संस्कृत भी है, बट आज की दुनिया के हिसाब से चलना पड़ेगा. तो जो भी बच्चे कह रहे हैं कि प्लीज बाइलिंगुअल कीजिए, मैं उनसे पूछना चाहता हूं, जब आप इंटरव्यू में जाओगे, you may fail to explain concept in a powerful way if you're not used to English. ठीक है, मैं जानता हूं YouTube पर आपको बहुत सारे लोग हिंदी में पढ़ाते हैं, इनफैक्ट हम भी पढ़ा सकते हैं, बट उस तरीके से we will compromise with your future because the science का लैंग्वेज जो है, इंटरनेशनल लैंग्वेज ऑफ साइंस इज इंग्लिश. 89% of scientists speak English. Why you want to be left out? हिंदी में पढ़ाने को हम रेडी हैं, लेकिन उस तरीके से आप पीछे छूट जाओगे. ओके हिंदी हमारी मातृभाषा है, एक वीडियो हमने ऑलरेडी बनाया है इस पे. सो लेट्स नॉट गेट इनटू दैट डिबेट. लेट्स कम बैक गाइस, लेट्स कम बैक टू आवर फोर्थ एलिमेंट. एंड फोर्थ एलिमेंट को आपने बहुत ही ध्यान से देखा होगा, कई बार देखा होगा, यस, बट आज हम उसका comprehensive presentation करने वाले हैं. We're going to show you how exactly concept table, concept wheel, concept cloud, concept flowchart, and concept light comes together as a part of RAID technology, RAID process, to help you, guide you, and succeed in the CSIR NET. So over to my expert over there. I would like to bring up Dr. Violet. If you could please join me and start the explanations, please.
Thank you, sir. Good evening to everyone present over here. So continuing with the RAID concept classes, now you will be getting even access to various revision tools. So that is what today I'm going to talk about, the revision tools, right? So revision is one of the most important aspect of preparation for exams. I'm sure you all agree with me, right? Revision helps you to actually answer the test questions. It is actually stepping back and looking at your paper as a whole to identify what all you remember and wherein you need to put in that extra effort, right? So that is why revision tools are very important. So in Biotechnica, we have come up with the revision tool. So before that, if you see, in the words of Michael D. Servants, forewarned, forearmed, to be prepared is half the victory. So revision tools actually helps you to prepare. And this is where you have one half of your battle, right? So starting with first of the revision tools that I'm going to talk about. So one of the most important revision tool is known as concept tables. So what is this concept table? Concept table is, like, if you see over here, there are many topics, right, in our syllabus where you need a comparative study, right? Like, for example, if you see over here, this is related to the various transporters like flipases, flopases, scramblases. And if you have gone through the question paper, definitely questions are asked from here. And if you see, now if you know what is the characteristic of each of them, and you know what is the difference between them, and it is in a very tabulated manner, so it is very easy to remember. Like, for example, if you see, this is ATP dependent. Again, flopases are ATP dependent, while scramblases, they're ATP independent. So you can see at one particular glance, you can easily identify, like, you can easily identify what are the various differences between the different types of the topics, right? Now, apart from that, you can also see that these concept tables have certain space that is left for your personal notes. So you can even prepare notes, your personal notes. You can write whatever is important for you, whatever you forget. So all that notes can be even written over here. So this concept table is a very effective tool, I would say, to understand the concepts in a very short time. It has a very colorful representation. So you can see another example is shown over here of O-linked glycosylation and N-linked glycosylation. So even questions are asked, like, where the glycosylation occurs, where the N-linked glycosylation occurs, where the O-linked glycosylation occurs. So this is a this tool is very effective to understand the concepts in a very short time, and these colorful representation helps in quick recalling of the concepts as well, right? Now, coming to the next concept, the revision tool that I'm going to talk about is known as the concept wheel. So as you know, wheel is one of the most important discovery in science, right? So taking up that idea, we have designed this concept wheel where the topic is the wheel, like this is for the growth characteristics of a bacteria, and as a wheel has different spokes, so over here the different spokes will represent the different characteristic of that particular topic. Like, for example, bacteria has different phases, like you all know, there is lag phase, there are log phase, there is stationary phase, death phase, and then the question comes from the characteristics associated with each of these different phases. So if you see, each of the spoke represents different phases and their characteristics in details. So what we understand through this concept wheels, you can see that they are very colorful. So you can see another example over here is of bacterial evasion mechanisms from immune responses. So this is from another topic related to immunology. So again, over here you can see like how there are various mechanisms how a particular bacteria can evade the immune response. So the different mechanisms, like some bacteria, they show change in the surface markers, some they start making certain enzymes by which they can evade the immunoglobulin response. So in this way, each spoke is representing certain evasion mechanisms. So you can see that these concept wheels are very colorful and they are very easy to remember. And always, you should know that brain remembers the concepts faster and retains longer if it's presented in form of different colors and shapes. So that is why Biotechnica has come up with these unique revision tools. Now talking about the next revision tool, so that is known as concept cloud, right? So what is this concept cloud? This is actually in the form of there are around more than 60 cards. So what happens is, it is related to various units. Like, for example, here one of the card from just one unit I have shown, that is unit 2. So you can see that the various topics from that particular unit and the various important topics that are asked in the questions, like the mathematics of growth, cell cycle control system, mitosis, meiosis. So over here what happens is these important topics names are written over here. Okay, so the whole day, if you have try to understand a particular concept. Suppose if I say you studied mitosis and meiosis, and at the end of the day you just want to recollect how much you remember, okay, so you need not go back, you need not go back and go through your lengthy notes. That is not required. You can just have a look on your concept cloud, and you can just tick mark, okay, you know mitosis and meiosis, you know all the relevant points that are associated with it, you know the formula associated with mathematics of growth of the bacteria, right? So in this way, concept cloud actually helps you to give a glimpse of the topic, and you can recollect about that particular topic, right, without going through the lengthy notes. So apart from this, you can see one more example related to concept cloud, that is related to unit 4. So unit 4, this concept cloud is related to the various immunological techniques that are being used. Okay, the immunology, like you have clonal energy, so you need to know what is clonal energy, you need to know what is diapedesis, wheel and flare reaction. So all these important topics associated with immunology has been jotted down in this concept cloud. So I'm sure these revision tools are really going to help you and will definitely enhance your preparation strategies. So now, continuing the talk further, I would now like to pass on the controls to Dr. Nidhi, who will be now discussing more about the revision tools. Thank you.
Hello once again. So this is me again. So earlier we had talked about the strategy of putting ourselves on the criteria of self-evaluation, right? But now, if somewhere while taking the test, you feel you know the concepts, right? You have memorized them deeply, but even then, you are unable to recall the concepts during test. So that means you need to develop a better strategy for quick recall and long retention. So there you need study assistance or revision tools. Right? My colleague Dr. Violet has already talked about some, and I'm sure you would have found them helpful. To continue, I'll be sharing a few more, but before that, I'll talk about colors, right? So we'll be talking about some more revision tools, but before that, let me talk about colors, right? Now, you might think that suddenly why I'm talking about the colors. The colors are so very attractive, right? I don't think there will be anyone who doesn't like colors. It has been scientifically proven that colors accelerate the impulses and thus may help easy and convenient learning. So, colorful flowcharts are one of the best options to remember the concepts for long. Conceptica is a flowchart book for CSIR NET Life Science aspirants. Very carefully made by the experts at Biotechnica that contains short notes, right? So you will find short notes in this book along with the detailed flowcharts covering the entire syllabus. I repeat, entire syllabus in the form of the flowcharts. What are flowcharts? These are symbolic representations that capture different steps in a process in sequential order. The use of the arrows, symbols, and short descriptions to depict the flow of a process can lead to active and easy learning. But what about making the flowcharts, designing it in the right way and in a scientific manner? That is again a big task and is time consuming. And that is why the academic experts at Biotechnica have tried to do this task for you even. Now, look at this example. We all know about translation, right? This is an example from Unit 3. Now, translation, it is a huge process in terms of the infrastructure needed. mRNA, tRNA, ribosomes, multiple translation factors, they need to associate correctly to accomplish the translation. And yes, there you need to memorize the names of all those factors. Let it be initiation, elongation, or termination, right? Right? So right now, the flowchart on your screen is for the termination. And that too different for prokaryotes and eukaryotes. There, fragmenting these phases with help of flowcharts could be extremely helpful to remember the order of the events or names of the factors involved. Along with the flowchart, some quick and crisp notes are also given. A quick look at the flowchart and a crisp revision from the notes is going to do all the magic. Another example, mRNA capping, right? One of the important post-transcriptional processing events. But again, you have to memorize the order of the events, the significance of each step, names of the enzymes, and their corresponding roles. Oh, so much to do, right? So let an ordered flowchart help you with that. Along with the crisp notes, some space has been provided, right? Where you can add your own notes if you feel like. Now, to make Conceptica affordable to all the students and help them revise smarter, a lighter version of Conceptica, Conceptica Lite is available, which offers 100 flowcharts on 100 important topics for CSIR. Isn't it? It's interesting. Okay, now let us take an example. Again, from Unit 3, this is about DNA repair. DNA repair is a collection of the processes required to fix up the DNA damage in the cell. And DNA repair is an inevitable part of cellular machinery. And this topic is an unavoidable topic of Unit 3. Very often questions are asked from this unit. In fact, in the recent CSIR exam also, questions had been asked from DNA repair. So you have to well prepare all the pathways along with the sequence of the events and enzymes involved. Have a look at this flowchart. Entire details about the DNA repair mechanism have been included along with the relevant diagrams. Okay, now to continue with these, since these are screenshots, now I always tell my students to remember three main categories into which we can divide repair mechanisms to remember them, right? And here we have all of them in one place with examples, with diagrams. Isn't it? It's marvelous. Yes? Did you like the idea? Can I get some quick responses in the comment section? Yes. Now, let me share another example. You have just learned a topic from biochemistry by my dear colleague, Miss Urmimala. That was tricky, right? Enzyme kinetics, another one of the toughest but most important topics. Avoidable, right? Now, let it be knowing about the Michaelis-Menten equation, calculating Michaelis constant or turnover number. You need to remember the equations, formulas, nature of graphs as per different equations and conditions. So to remember all this again, a concise flowchart can help you to revise all the formulas, equations at one glance. And while taking the exam, you'll be able to make a quick recall by just remembering, okay, at that position in left or maybe in the right, over the top or the bottom, this formula, this equation, the name of the enzyme was present. Am I right? So this will be extremely helpful to learn these topics with the help of these flowcharts, colorful flowcharts. We have talked about the importance of the colors. It has been scientifically proven. Yes, colors, they accelerate our impulses and thus help with the active learning. Now see, any competitive exam is all about being ahead of other competitors who will almost be at the same level in terms of knowledge. So to stay ahead in this competitive race, you need to accentuate your qualities. अपनी खुद की qualities को पहचान कर improve करना है. To make your preparation more effective by inculcating focus, then knowledge, right? Time management, self-discipline, just right kind of the assistance tool and right kind of guidance, right? This will give you that balance and it will assist you to achieve more in less time. So all the very best to all of you. That will be all from my side. Thank you all. Passing the controls to Sir again.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Nidhi. So that was quite insightful, Dr. Violet and Dr. Nidhi. Now, guys, you look at this. हम आपको स्पून फीडिंग नहीं कर रहे. We're not going to do any kind of spoon feeding. We are going to give you tools in your hands जिसका इस्तेमाल करके, जिसका यूज करके, like I can use this pen to write, the same way you can use these tools to innovate in learning, right? So these are tools. These are not just regular books. Regular books में आपको textual information होती है. यहाँ पर flow charts है, colorful है, right? Okay, so all that. Now coming to a factor here, which is most of the time when I go to YouTube and मेरे YouTube feed में चूंकि मैं CSIR NET से related videos देखता हूँ, so काफी सारे videos आते हैं. Sometimes I feel that there are a lot of Kapil Sharmas doing comedy with CSIR NET. Okay, comedy with Kapil आपने देखा होगा, वही हो रहा है आजकल. आपको कपिल शर्मा से पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं है. You can just use these tools, and when आप concept पढ़ो, Conceptica series से, that's more than enough. You don't need to go and listen to some Kapil Sharma who is doing comedy just to get some views. That's not the intention here. CSIR NET qualify कर रहा है आपको. It's not a comedy. It's not entertainment. Studies को enjoyable बनाना है. That doesn't mean the teacher has to become an entertainer or a comedian, right? So moving ahead without wasting much of your time. Now here we come to the fifth element, which is you and your self-study. आप पढ़ोगे तो doubts होगी, और doubts क्या है? Snakes. So doubts को solve करने के लिए पिछले 15 सालों से बायोटेक्निका चैट सपोर्ट प्रोवाइड करती है. 99.99% कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट्स में आपको चैट सपोर्ट नहीं है. आप घर पे हो, कहीं भी हो, वॉक कर रहे हो, अचानक से डाउट आता है, यू टेक आउट योर मोबाइल, यू कैन चैट विथ योर फेवरेट एक्सपर्ट. ये फीचर कहीं भी अवेलेबल नहीं है, और अगर है भी तो काफी लिमिटेड है, काफी प्रॉब्लम्स आती है. बट वी हैव टेम्ड दिस प्रॉब्लम. अगर आपको कोई भी प्रॉब्लम होती है, रेड एलिमेंट नंबर 5 will help you. So I have an expert, Dr. Tithi again. She will be showing you a demo of how the chat support for doubt solving works. So Dr. Tithi, if you could come up quickly and add, and then we'll try to conclude the session quickly. Right? Dr. Tithi, over to you.
Thank you, sir. Hello, everyone, once again. So here we are. So as sir was telling you that you have the chat support with. Now, with Biotechnica, when you study, so this is how our study portal is looking. Okay, so I've just shared my screen. You can look at it. So you will be given your login credential, password, and with the help of that, you can log into your study portal. Okay, now what all things study portal will have? It will have all the lecture recordings. Okay, we record each and every lecture. So by mistake, if you miss a lecture, not to worry, we are there. So the portal will have it. Okay, the lecture will be recorded. It will be uploaded in the portal in the same chronological order according to date. All right. Along with that, you will get all the lecture PPTs. Okay, then all the revision tools that you just now saw, right? Dr. Violet and Dr. Nidhi told you about all those revision tools. You will be get access to it through your study portal. You can see here, right? Conceptica Lite, this video zone, PPT zone. Okay, so that this one is for all your lecture videos and PPTs. All right, so like that, your portal will all have all the folders that you have enrolled for. Now, how to get onto our chat support? So suppose you are preparing something. Okay, so let's say that you are in the morning batch, you were watching the lecture, you missed a lecture, you are watching it, and suddenly a doubt comes to you. What to do? Now the teachers, you will think that teachers are not available because this is not the class timing. Well, no. Our chat support is there 24/7. Okay, so this is the icon that will pop up here, and as soon as you click, you will get the window. Okay, so let me just type something. Hi. So as soon as you type a chat here, okay, you start a chat, you will get a response in a matter of minutes. That's just now you saw read, right? So we have our chat support team to help you. Okay, so this team is not just a random team. Here we have the academic experts to help you clear all your academic doubts that you might have come across. Okay, and also along with that, our customer support team is also there. So if you are facing any glitches in our app, or you are facing any glitches in watching the lectures or anything in the study portal, any technical issue, that can also be addressed right there on the chat. And then we have, like, suppose you want to send a question. Okay, it's difficult to type all the question because CSIR questions, they are big, they have images. Okay, not to worry, there we have this plus sign. So as soon as you click on the plus sign, you can upload a file from there. Okay, so you can put the file, you can tag your teacher, and your teacher will get it, and within a matter of few minutes, maximum couple of hours, you will get your answer. All right, so this is how your entire, so this portal is like the paradise for all the entrance exam aspirants. Everything you will get it here. Now, about the concepts now that you saw, that will be available to you on your app, right on your fingers. Okay, so this is what I wanted to show you about the chat. So we are there with you in every step of your preparation, in every step, to make sure that you cross that threshold and clear the cutoff for the exam. So all the best to all of you. Hope to see you all in our Biotechnica classes. Thank you, everyone. Sir, please I'm passing the controls to you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Tithi. That was really wonderful. Now, guys, we have unveiled today the 5 elements of RAID, the same way how nature is. 5 elements: space, earth, air, fire, water. 5 elements of nature. The same way our RAID methodology, the RAID concept methodology, has got an experienced teacher equipped with RAID PowerPoint, concept notes, concept review tests, revision tools, U plus chat support. This is our formula to success. Now, I ask you, don't you feel confident when you look at a coaching company which comes to you with a formula? We come up with this patent pending formula we have devised in past 2 years of pandemic. And we really take pride in especially the concept notes, as well as the revision tools and chat support. You look at this, these are very unique offerings which we provide in Biotechnica. Yet we don't talk about it often because we don't believe in self-praise. But at some point in time, we have to really tell you that we have done something amazing and you got to know about it. Now, there was a chat somewhere in the middle of this that why we need to enroll, why can't this be free? So let me answer that question. Why can't all this be free? Right? It's like going to a petrol pump and asking, why can't we get petrol for free? The truth is, everything in this world costs us. If someone is teaching you for free on YouTube, definitely it's not for free. They're definitely trying to entice you for something to pay for. Now, here's the question. Can we be born in this world also to be for free? No. For that also, our parents had to pay the doctor, right? Nothing in this world comes for free. If something is for free, then you are the product, your attention is the product, and that is what not going to help you qualify CSIR NET. If you are going to qualify CSIR NET, you need a solid formula. You need a formula just like the RAID process, which we have unveiled in front of you. Just like how nature has got 5 elements, Biotechnica's RAID process, teaching process, has got 5 elements, which will enrich you, which will nurture you, which will guide you. And you can see it for yourself. Our students right there are writing praises about it. Yes, nobody in this world is perfect. We have flaws, but we have designed a perfect model which will help you qualify CSIR NET. Now, moving ahead, this is what we wanted to highlight. This methodology is a result of 2 years of pandemic. जो भी होता है अच्छे के लिए होता है. Whatever happens, happens for the good. 2 years of pandemic, our experts innovated, worked day and night to create a foolproof methodology to help you win concepts. देखिए, रट्टाफिकेशन से आप एग्जाम तो शायद क्वालिफाई कर जाओगे, उसके आगे क्या करोगे? What would you do after that? So, if you have the concepts, if you're armed with concepts, then only you can score an A+ in no matter which academic battle you sit in. आप इंटरव्यूज में जाओगे, जॉब इंटरव्यूज होगा, PhD एंट्रेंस इंटरव्यूज होगा, या PhD के बाद जो फाइनल वाइवा होती है, कहीं पर भी जाओगे, अगर आपके पास ये है, if you know the concepts, nobody can defeat you. You should know this, whether you are in academia or industry. हम दोनों साइड से हैं. We are Biotechnica, we bridge academia and industry. We know it all. Concepts के बिना आप कुछ नहीं हो. So concepts को जानना है, पढ़ना है, easily recall करना है. If we have to do that, then this is the methodology which we have armed you with. We have started on 4th of March, Shaurya batch, and we are starting the next batch जहां पर कि आपकी जीत होगी, कोई यहां पर पराजित नहीं होगा, सबकी जीत होगी। 4 अप्रैल को हम स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं एक और बैच। आप चाहे तो शौर्य बैच में ज्वाइन कर सकते हो, लेकिन वहां सीट ऑलमोस्ट फुल है। अगर सीट फुल हो गई तो कोई बात नहीं, यू कैन गो फॉर जीत बैच। 16 स्टूडेंट लेते हैं हम, ओनली 16 स्टूडेंट्स, एंड वी गिव देम दिस इंटेंस methodology of RAID concept classes. So this is what we wanted to share with all of you guys. Now, अगर आप बैंगलोर में है या फिर रिलोकेट कर सकते हैं, यू कैन कम एंड ज्वाइन अस फॉर द क्लासरूम कोचिंग, बिकॉज क्लासरूम कोचिंग बैंगलोर में स्टार्ट हो रही है विद जीत बैच। वेरी सून अदर ब्रांचेस में भी स्टार्ट होगी। सो दिस इज व्हाट आई हैड टू शेयर विद ऑल ऑफ यू। वी हैव कम अप विद दिस पेटेंट पेंडिंग प्रोसेस called as Rapid Advanced Intelligently Delivered Learning Process, and I invite all of you to join us. Now is the time for feedback form. Please fill the feedback form, और उसके बाद आपको ईमेल में मिल जाएगा डाउनलोडेबल लिंक, लॉट ऑफ फ्रीबीज, लॉट ऑफ गुडीज, और कल मैं आपको स्पेशल ईमेल करूंगा। ठीक है, तो ईमेल एड्रेस करेक्ट लिखना। स्पेशल ईमेल करूंगा मैं कल आपको विद द कॉन्सेप्ट नोट्स का फ्री पीडीएफ। ठीक है, एक फ्री पीडीएफ आप सभी को मिलेगा। यू आर गोइंग टू गेट इट, सो प्लीज fill the form, guys. Here we go. You have the feedback form right now, guys. We have the online classes as well as offline classes. Jeet batch CSIR NET starts 4th April. जाने के पहले जरूर आप इसके बारे में जानने की कोशिश कीजिएगा। हमारा टोल फ्री नंबर है 1-800-1200-1818. So this is all about today's session, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. It was really wonderful talking to all of you. जाते जाते मैं इतना ही कहना चाहूंगा कि all of you are very, very special for us. All the students of Biotechnica are very special for us. हमारे सारे एक्सपर्ट्स ने बहुत मेहनत की है to devise this methodology, और हम लेके आ रहे हैं आपके लिए जीत बैच from 4th of April. अगर आप इनरोल करना चाहते हो, होली के पहले आपको सीट्स फुल होने के चांसेस हैं, तो बिफोर होली गोज ऑफ प्लीज इनरोल। लाइफ में बहुत सारे हॉलीडेज आएंगे, लेकिन ये समय है पढ़ने का। पढ़ लो, आगे बढ़ लो, क्योंकि ब्रेन से बड़ा इन्वेस्टमेंट, नॉलेज से बड़ा इन्वेस्टमेंट कुछ भी नहीं है। थैंक यू सो मच फॉर वॉचिंग इन, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर ज्वाइनिंग अस। सी यू सून इन आवर नेक्स्ट लाइव सेशन। टेक केयर, गुड नाइट, बाय बाय।